Hey loves, as promised, I was going to talk about what happened to Max and why I stopped making the videos 2 weeks ago. On my previous video I mentioned that, so here I am talking about what happened to my baby Max. So you'll see. So I'll show you at the end how he looks and everything right now, because he won't stay on the table and he wants to stay on my lap. So he's on the ground right now, so yeah. Anyways, as you saw on my Snapchat or Instagram, if you are following me, if not, here's my username on both, so it's the same username for both, or just go down in the description bar and you'll see. Anyways, so basically it all happened on Father's Day. Normally every night I always go to sleep like at 11 or 10, 12, depending if I'm really sleepy or depending how many sodas I drank that day. So on Father's Day I let him go outside. On Father's Day basically we went to TJ in the morning, and then we came back and it was a normal day. We got back home like around 3-4 p.m. in the afternoon. Max was outside, and then once it hit nighttime, I'm always in my room watching Hulu or Netflix on my phone, and I believe I was watching Hulu that night, and it was really hot that day. Max had gone outside. It was like around 9 p.m. like around 9-ish, 30-ish, around there, and he had gone outside, normal, the usual, and then all of a sudden I hear him growl and bark. So I'm like, he's probably growling at, I don't know, a bunny, a squirrel, who knows. So, and then I just heard my dad like shushing him, because normally around that time he's already falling asleep in the couch. So what I was going to do is I was going to get up and go get him. So like right exactly to the point where I was about to get up, he ran to my room, and that's when I saw him dripping blood, like literally like dripping. I'm not exaggerating. It was like to the point where there was like blood all over on my shirt and on my jeans, the ones I was wearing that night. And basically I was freaking out, so I grabbed him like right away. I ran to the living room crying and screaming that something attacked Max, and basically I thought it was a snake, because I only noticed it from one side, on the right side where you're going to see later on. And basically I was tripping out. I was like saying like, oh my god, something attacked Max, something attacked him, like literally crying. And my anxiety kicked in really bad. My whole body was shaking. I couldn't stop crying, and basically I'm really attached to Max. And I know people say, oh my god, it's just an animal. He's not only an animal, he's my family. He's like my kid, basically. My kid. And yeah, like we tried to make the bleeding stop, and then I noticed that he had another wound on the other side, on the left side, and I started freaking out even more. Then that's when I thought it was a coyote that attacked him, and that was the conclusion we came up with, that it was a coyote. So I wanted to take him to the vet like immediately, but my parents said, oh, we just need to make the blood stop, like make him stop bleeding. And yeah, first person I called was obviously my boyfriend. He may not be a vet, but he's in the army, so he knows what to do in these situations. So basically the first thing he told me is to calm my ass down. So yeah, and then he told me to like grab a wet towel and put pressure into the wounds for it to stop bleeding. And at the beginning we did do that, and then later on Max wouldn't even let us near him at all. Like he was like screaming, crying, and it broke my heart. It would make me cry even more. And then later on I called my brother, and basically he told me the same thing. So yeah, so that night, like, I will leave him alone, and then I will like go back and clean his wounds. And that was on Father's Day, so that was June 21st, I believe. So yeah, it was June 21st, and we like, well, basically I tried to calm down and try to make the bleeding stop, and on the left side, that's where it did stop, but on the right side where I thought a snake had bitten, but it wasn't a snake, that's where it wouldn't stop bleeding. And then he only lasted one night without going to the vet. I took him to the vet until Tuesday in the afternoon, I think, because he wouldn't stop bleeding. So I was literally worried, of course. So we took him to the vet, and yeah, they basically shaved him, and they said that, yeah, I got an infection, so they were gonna have to drain him. So they gave us two options: either put a tube inside him and like let all the nasty fluid come out, or do the surgery and like literally just clean him all out. And the surgery was going to cost a little bit more, so we went with the tube. So it smelled really bad, so it was a really bad infection. So we did that, and they gave me like pain medication for him, but he wouldn't take it because he did not like the taste of it. So he's just like his mommy. I don't like medicine that tastes nasty. So even if I try to put it like on a weenie, I would like cut the weenie and put it like inside the weenie. He would like bite it until the point he got where the pill was. He would not take it, and if I try to do it again, he would know. Like, he's like, So yeah, and then I was glad that he was eating again, so that's a good thing, because the first 2 nights before we even took him to the vet, he would not eat. Like, he was only drinking water, but he wasn't eating, which the vet did told us that he was dehydrated. So once the medication kicked in, the ones that they gave him over there, he started eating. So I was like relieved that he did that. He was still not getting up, but later on, like, few days passed, and he started getting up, he started walking and everything. So that was a good thing. And then we took him to the vet to take the tube out, and they told us that, like, you could still tell that the tissue was probably like that it was dying. That's why the smell wouldn't like go away, or like it wasn't even, the fluid wasn't even coming out. So they did the surgery, and this is what I found out. He had damaged tissue, damaged muscle, and damaged bone. And they asked me what part I live in, and I live in a place where there's like a whole bunch of mountains, and there are mountain lions, and there are bobcats, and of course coyotes. So exactly where I told them exactly where I live, the street I live, and they told me that there has been sightings of bobcat around there. So what the doctor told me was that there is no way a coyote could do that much damage that Max had. So her guess is that a bobcat could have gone to him. So because exactly where I live is there's no mountain lions, well, not in this area, but bobcats. So it was a bobcat that attacked my poor baby Max. So yeah, they did the surgery and he has like a little dent where the stitches are because they had to remove a big part of his muscle. So yeah, but he's back to normal. He's starting to run a little bit already. He's chasing squirrels, making holes on the floor, and eating, drinking is all normal. So he's back to normal. If he wouldn't have gone back with the bobcat, he wouldn't be here, because what coyotes normally do is they just grab and just take the food or the animal that attack. But what a bobcat, like any other wild animal, wildcat, they bite and they crunch. So that's why he had a damaged bone also. But he fought back. I noticed he fought back because he was missing these front teeth. So all he has is his fangs and the last two front teeth. So my little soldier, he fought back. So if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't still have Max. And Max is my baby. He's been with me for 7 years already. And dogs normally last for 15 years. That's their life range, but they could last longer. So yeah, Max have gone through a lot. 6 years ago, he was attacked by bigger dogs and they broke his legs, and now a bobcat. I mean, come on. He's a trooper. He's a soldier. So yeah, let me just show you guys all the damage that he has. Okay, here's Max, and as you can see, the little dent right here, that's where they removed all the muscles. He's still dripping fluid from here. He had 2 tubes right here for all the nasty fluids to come out. So this is my baby. So he had like 2 big wounds right here, so obviously they had to open it to remove the fluid. Say hi, Max. You're gonna fall. He doesn't like being on tables. So yeah, he only has 1 on this side, but this is where all the damage he had. And I will show you his teeth, but he doesn't like showing teeth. So yeah, this is what happened to my baby Max and my little trooper, my soldier. Dame besito. Dame besito. No me quiere dar besito. So yeah, a bobcat attacked my poor baby Max. Besito. So if you live in mountain areas, take care of your dogs, especially if they're small. If he was an original Chihuahua, he wouldn't be here at all because they're tinier. So yeah, so this is the story of Max. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Mwah. Dame besito. Dame besito. Dame besito. Hola. Max, sit. Sit. Come on, Papa. Sit. Come on, Papa. Sit. How is this going to work?